What's up, YouTube? I have a confession to make. I I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I thought, I honestly thought I knew what I was gonna do with my life. I wanted control. I wanted the ability to direct every aspect of my life, to do it with my own strength, with my own intellect. And I failed. I failed time after time after time when I was leaning on my own understanding. But I'm here to tell you, although I myself may not know what I'm doing with my life, God knows what He's doing for my life, in my life. The Most High, my higher self, knows what He's doing in my life. For God knows the plans He has for you. And that was the biggest obstacle and challenge that I personally had to learn over and over and over was relinquishing and forfeiting my own desire to have absolute everything in my life be understood by me. And it wasn't until I surrendered to God's leading, it wasn't until I learned to fully walk in faith where I started to see the purpose and plans God has set out for me. And it's never easy. I'll tell you this, because there's moments where I'm like, God, this is the direction that you want me to go. This doesn't make any sense. And it's like, I want the keys. I want the I want to drive. And Jesus was like, no, bro. Sit back. Let me take the wheel. And I'm like, but wait, look ahead. It seems like there's challenges and these obstacles, and I don't understand how we're going to get past that. And he'll just you know, look at me metaphorically and say, be still. Because I have the power to calm those seas. And maybe these points in our navigation are going to teach you so much. And it wasn't until I learned to give up that part of myself that wanted control. When I gave that to God, that's when it that's when that overwhelming sense of peace came over me. That's when doors began to open. That's when I knew, like, if one door shut, God had another door waiting for me. If something wasn't happening the way I wanted to, I know that God was redirecting me to something greater. And each step along the way was very challenging for me. But along this journey, I really learned to walk by faith and not by my own sight. to understand that God's ways are not our own. And now, after being on this journey, after learning through these cycles, I could see it unfolding. And this next chapter that's unfolding is totally reliant on faith, something that I could never even fathom or imagine. But I'm paying attention to the signs that he's giving. I understand now. And as this process unfolds, it's not even by my own doing, but it's by his leading. And as you're being led, God will teach you that it's not that you just don't do anything, but is that you are doing the work as he's leading you, and he's teaching you how to make these things made manifest in your own life. So just know, wherever you are, it's time for you to surrender. It's time for you to walk in full faith. And I wish that I could expound and elaborate, but my memory on my phone only has like 7 minutes. And I know this message, I might have to do a part 2. But if you're like me, it's time for you to lay it at his feet, because he wants to show you. He wants to show you the way. And the way that he's going to lead you is not going to make sense. But when you walk in faith, when you're sure-footed and grounded on his firm foundation, then you just get to cruise with Jesus. And this next chapter that people will see and observe in your life, there will be no doubt that God's hand was always upon your life. So family, just know that God loves you first and foremost. If you're dealing with these things, it's time for you to be at peace, to make peace with them. And just know that God is going to prosper you. He loves you. So with that being said, may peace be upon you. Much love. God bless.